Hey, Inspirational Guidance Tarot here. Ebony, I'm here to do messages for Leo. Leo, these messages are specifically just for you, okay? I'm not really speaking about anything specific that doesn't pertain to just you, which means that I'm not going into love. I'm not doing none of that. This is about your changes, your involvement, your involvement, your just all your the internal makeup, the mess, the clutter, the what needs to change, the what needs to declutter, what the mindset. This is all about you. All right. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you. Please hit a like. Okay. Please do comment. I do comment back. Okay. I appreciate you much for doing that. Anything else is in the description box below. Okay. So let's move forward, Leo, and see what's going on here. Leo, this is all about you, Leo, and what you need to know. Okay. 2 cards, shuffle them out for Leo. 1, 2. Okay. Underneath it says unleash your kindest self. All right. But what we get is release your blocks, which is first quarter moon in Scorpio. We have let your fears dissolve, which is the full moon in Cancer. And first quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. Okay. So just off the bat, what I'm getting here, releasing your blocks. Okay, you can have these also in your chart, but release your blocks. It's things that's getting in the way, that you're allowing to get in the way. Okay, and it's because of what it is that you fear. Okay, it's what it is that you fear to be vulnerable. You fear to be somebody that can be a pushover or looked at as somebody can get over on you. It could be from previous situations you've been in. You could be also doing things that blocks you from moving forward and things that will make you happy as well. Okay. And when it says release your kind self, it means that you could be doing harm to you, okay, or others around you due to these insecurities, due to your inner childhood wounds or trauma or things from the past that hold you back. That's still a blockage in your life. Okay. And there's a need to let this dissolve. There's a need to bring some resolution to these problems. There's a need to take a look at what it is that is hindering you from moving forward towards your happiness. Because if you got to unleash your kind self, it means you're not being very kind to you or other people around you. You're sort of like a bitch right now, or you're sort of like one of them. You got something stuck in your butt. Okay. And you're acting an ass, and you're being an ass. Okay. If this is not your reading, it's not your reading. Okay. But this is for Leos out here I'm talking to that can resonate. Release your blocks for Leo. Crown chakra. Crown chakra, number 7. Okay. The blocks is pretty much about you seeking wisdom, decision making, things that you know you need to release, things that you need to be let go of. I say that because it's the number 7. The number 7 is all about decision making, it's choosing wisely. Okay. And when it comes down to your crown chakra, it's your higher self, it's your higher consciousness, it's you knowing, it's you being very intuitive. Okay. It's the consciousness between the wisdom. You already know what the situation is. You already know what the deal is. Bottom of the deck. You already know the truth when it comes down to the conflict and defeat that comes by way of foundations and achievements. The rewards you're supposed to have, because you're supposed to be choosing wisely. You're supposed to be choosing spiritual unions with people and connections. Okay. But however, somebody here rather step into their power. Leo, you rather do doing more of the controlling or being in this leadership role with the number 8. It's all about the movement. Okay. Is evolution. Okay. It's going from one place to another. Okay. But this type of energy, even if I look at it as 8 of Wands, it's how you communicate. It's how you're going about the stress levels that you have. It's all about fast movement. It's the action that you take. Okay. And you have the power in your hand to do that, but it's causing a disruption because you're being intuitively guided to look at what you're suffering in silence about, really. Okay. And it could be how you stand in your ground with moving on from things that no longer serve you. Okay. People, places, things. Take it how it resonates. All right. But the crown chakra, again, is clearly all about your higher consciousness. All right. It's all about you knowing what it is to be true, knowing what it is, the truth, knowing what it is that you need to move on from. Okay. Knowing what it is that you need to change. And starting to make those steps to change it. But somebody here can't let the fear die, because whatever it is that you're codependent on, whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is that you have to keep, you keep it locked away because it helps you stay numb to the reality of what that was. Instead of facing that truth of whatever it is or whatever it was and saying it is what it was. Okay. God, bring me enlightenment to understand it by way of wanting to heal, forgive, and let it go. But you're being unkind to yourself for the simple fact that you're still holding on to it. That's why it's saying unleash your kindest self. It's being more loving and more nurturing to yourself. Whether you played a part, you didn't play a part. However it goes for you, you're holding on to something so dearly, and it keeps something locked up. It keeps the love for self locked up instead of the rage being locked up. Because, Leo, you know how you can rage out. You know, when it's time to put that effort in and put that work in a whole nother light, which would be the shadow, you know how to do that thoroughly. You also know how to do it by way in doing it silently, where you could be causing harm to yourself or whatever that is and however that is, when it comes down to you still moving in a loving space. Letting your fears dissolve for Leo. Let your fears dissolve when it comes down to your material and your spiritual prosperity. Exactly. The balance that you need to have. Okay. Between the material and the spirituality. Okay. Of it all. Meaning that, the fear of you really being stable by way of having faith is what needs to be balanced. So you're playing the waiting game when it comes down to loving you. You're playing the waiting game when it comes down to loving, or should I say putting love into the situation, because it's too much heartache and loss here. And this is what you got locked up. This is what you got locked up right here. That's the desire that's burning, what you're keeping locked up. So when it comes down to victory and success, you're going to be disappointed because it's not the victory that you're looking for. Because when you do get that, you can't hold it. Because you're not kind to yourself to keep it. Because you're still not feeling so deserving of it. Though you know you want it. See, Lil, you go after, I know I want it. And I know I could have it. But the thing is, when you get it, do you know how to keep it? You let this get in the way too much. The control of it all. It's the authority of it all. But at the end of the day, while you sitting here like this, all smug, like what inside yourself, you're blocking your own blessings. And then now we have the exchange of financial and material changes. Then the change happens again. Then it's falling by the wayside again. Then you got to be patient and plan again in order for you to get the recognition and the reward you deserve. In order for you to get the money you deserve. In order for you to get things going again, birthing out this new vitality for yourself, you got to go into your subconscious mind and remember how to love. Remember what love looked like. Remember what it felt like to give it to yourself. So you take that pause because you begin to feel that emotional loss. And it's all due to your shadow side. But you are totally aware of this already, Leo. You're aware already of your emotions and your desires, and that's the problem. You need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice keeping all that shit locked the fuck up. Because, see, when you release it, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're telling the world, this is my emotion. This is my desire. This is what I feel. But you know your strength by yourself. So you know how to contain that and not even get into all of that. And even if you did, when you present it, it doesn't even sound like you're so emotionally fucked up. It doesn't sound like you're vulnerable. It doesn't sound like you need the help. It sounds like, man, I was in shit, man. I was in a relationship, man. It is what it is, man. But inside yourself, you'll go back home and you'll think about that relationship. You'll think about those feelings and you'll be like, damn, I fucked that up. But you won't tell that to people. You won't wear that. You won't speak that. And this one needs to be sacrificed, because in turn, by you not doing that, you're holding back and it becomes a block for you moving forward. So it's saying to sacrifice the deception and the envy that you're telling yourself, the things you're telling yourself about your emotions. And that will bring in the balance, and then you'll have the forward movement from being trapped in fear. And that's the truth. So when it comes down to this, let your fears dissolve off of this material and spiritual prosperity, is saying don't fear the balance. Don't fear that you can balance out your stability within self, your stability overall, and your faith in how stable you are. But you fear, it's like saying nobody fears being okay. It's like saying I fear being unstable, but I manifest being unstable because I got blocks in my life that keeps me unstable. But you manifested the very thing that you feared. I don't fear looking unstable. I don't fear being unstable. I fear being unstable. I fear looking unstable. I fear people approaching me and talking to me, and I'm sounding unstable. I'm fearing people catching a grip of that, a grasp of that. I fear people acknowledging me in that light. I fear all of these things. However, you put so much emphasis on what you fear that you manifested the very thing you fear. So now you really do look unstable. You really are feeling unstable. You really are unstable. So it says, unleash your kindest self. Get out of the fear and the worry of what you look like to people, and look in the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself, what do you want to look like? What do you want to feel like? What do you want in your life? What do Leo want for Leo? Full moon in Cancer, this is about your emotions, okay? This is about how you're feeling. Your crown chakra is the connection between wisdom, okay, and the spiritual insight that you have, your intuition. It's about what you know and what you're being intuitively guided to understand. And that's the blocks that you have. But you keep not doing that. Leo. And it keeps pumping that same fear. And then you keep manifesting the same thing over again. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Crown chakra for Leo. Wow, look. Knight of Wands. Fast moving communication, right? But then it's also confidence. It's also restlessness. It's trusting in your instincts. It's staying focused. This is the blocks that you have. You're not taking the action. Or you're going very quick with taking the action. However, when it comes down to your confidence, if the crown chakra is here and it's the connection between wisdom and your intuition, then you're wise enough to know that these are the blocks that you're having. And the blocks that you're having is that you're not that focused. You are very driven by nature. But are you focused really on what it is that you're desiring and what it is that you want? No, because you're focused more on the fear of not being looked at like you're not driven, like you're not focused. And you're manifesting the very thing that you fear. So when it comes down to your emotions with this cup of love, we got you trying to create, you trying to trust in, always being showered with celebrations and good news from who you are. Okay? For how you are. For how you present yourself. Okay, Leo? You present yourself very strong, very loyal, very dedicated, a go-getter, very driven. You got that love to give. You keep a cup. Right? You keep trust. You got news all the time. Money always coming in. You a go-getter. Then why you over here sad? Because you're focusing on the negative. And just like I said, this Five of Cups is about focusing on the negative aspects of things. And you manifest that very thing. You focus on that and you work hard on picking that path. But when the communication comes in to say, yeah, you're dreaming. The communication comes in to say that, hey, there's a new start. It's a need for you to trust yourself. Put your fears aside. Take a leap of faith. That's the communication that's coming into you. When it comes down to you really feeling alone and you really feeling trapped in your own world. Material and prosperity for Leo. Yeah, reverse is the 7 of Pentacles. Now the 7 of Pentacles is clearly about the seeds that you plant, what you've invested in. Okay? It's all about your need to be patient. It's a time for resting. It's letting go of the unnecessary worry. But this is reversed. Because you don't. So when it comes down to loving yourself and standing in that power of having material wealth and feeling very strong and feeling very stable, you get the 4 of Cups. I'm sorry, you get the 4 of Pentacles. Because this is what you're holding back from. Because you're stuck in your ego. And it's crazy because it's like you're holding on to it because you're a Leo. This is what you do. But inside yourself, you're manifesting the very thing that you do outwardly. Like, okay, Leos you do have ego. All of us do. A little bit more for Leo, right? You are strong. You are strength. You are this. But we all have negative aspects of ourselves. And we fear those negative aspects actually coming out because we want to be more in the love part. Well, for Leo, the love is the strength. It's to keep moving. It's to keep fighting. It's to stay driven. However, when you allow ego to creep in on that, Leo, you get the will. You're on a hamster wheel of the past. Stress. In order to get new beginnings and have a solid foundation. This is what you always do. So get a new solid foundation. There's a need to put love into these new beginnings instead of the ego. Because then you get balance. But then it's not really balanced because you conflicted with what the hell you got to walk away from. Because you're always leaving it. It's like starting something and not finishing. Or starting it, right? You're starting it and your completion of it is the way you view it to be completed. And that's just how it's going to go. But does that leave you feeling good? Does it leave you feeling good? Because at the end of the day, you manifested completing it. But you manifested completing it in a way out of a negative energy. Out of your negative self instead of your higher self. Instead of having faith in it, you put yourself in it. And you got God consciousness that I can do it. And then when you do it, and it goes the way you didn't want it to go, now you're stuck. But it went that way because the way that you should have done it, right? The way that you wanted it to look like, you wanted it to go, when you took that will by the reins and you said, I'm going to control it, it went the very way when you touched it, you attached your energy to it. And it went to the very same way you really didn't want it to go. But it still went. But it ain't go the way you really wanted it to go. You feared the car crashing. But you decide you still going to get behind the wheel anyway. And you going to go at the speed you want to go. When the speed limit is there to say 55, you going to go 75. And you fear it crashing. And it's a highway with nobody on it. But you feared it crashing. You crashing. And God Almighty knows you got where you had to go and be. But you lost a tire. Your tire was flat. Something just like that. You block your own blessings. So with this 7, it seeds that weren't well planted. Okay? It's investments that aren't being very rewarded because of your fear. Because it's like saying, I got it in the bag. What? But inside yourself, you really fear it not being in the bag. So it's really worth a celebration when it's in the bag, right? But then the bag break. Yeah, you got it in the bag. But it broke. Because deep down, you just like, it ain't going to work. I ain't going to get it in the bag. It is what it is. And even if you are so much on, I got it in the bag, I'm going to get it in the bag because I'm Leo, I'm this, I'm that. Then that comes in with that balance between your practicality and your spirituality. That's when that kicks in. Because then that God consciousness, that God conscious that you're getting to say that I got this because me, what? You're going to get shot down. Okay? It's going to get shot down. That thought, pow, boom, it's getting shot down. That ego, it's getting ready to come down. Why? Because you have a God consciousness of that. I got it in the bag. I got the confidence. I could do this. I could do that. Yeah, you can. And so can many people. However, but when you got it to where you just know and you really don't, and you stuck right there, God gonna come in for real and let you know that boo-boo, excuse me, cool me. Because see, it's still blocks that you got, so it's still lessons you need to learn. You have not learned them all. You will never learn them all. You will be forever changing, forever growing, forever learning, forever, until you die. And even then, you still ain't gonna get a lot. You still ain't gonna know it all. So you're gonna get shot down from that. It comes down a little bit, knocked down off your high horse. Even if you ain't manifesting out of the fear. Just that confidence of you just knowing is ego. And it's a little too past 20. Just saying. It caused conflict. It caused conflict. When you get away with something for so long as well, you get that, got away again. Eventually your luck's gonna run out with that, because there's a lesson you need to learn. You could be blessed all day. You could get away with it 30 times, 3,000 times, 3 million times. Trust me, it's going to be one time that's going to sit your ass down to let you know that you're not going to continuously keep doing this and think that nothing is going to happen to you. Because it's happening, you just don't see it happening. It can happen with you healthily. It can happen with you through your job. It can happen with your family. It can happen in all other areas that still gives you that wake up. But when you wake up is the thing. And I'm talking to some Leos out here that have that God consciousness, that have that I'm me, yeah. When deep down, it's a whole block. You got mad blocks. You need to release these blocks. And it's okay to be that way. Don't get it twisted. It's good to have a little ego. It's good to be selfish a little bit. It's good. Yes, it is. It can definitely be healthy. I tell people all the time, I say, listen, hold on, wait a minute. Everybody's here to be used. It's how you use them. Good for bad. Because in turn, that's how you treat yourself. Want to release your blocks. You get 2. You got the end of a cycle approaches, work through your fear. The end of the cycle approaches is reversed. Because it's a cycle that's still going to keep going on. It's karmic. Because there's a need for you to work through those fears. The inevitable is going to happen, right? It's a need for you to work through that. Bottom of the deck, what do you need to release? And it's a need for you to hold on to that vision and step out of your comfort zone in order for new things to come into your life, in order for new love to balance out, in order for new love cycles to begin, in order for the love of self to be known and brought out by way that the world sees me, if that's what you want. But it's something that needs to be released here. What is that? You got release. Blocks. What's blocking you, Leo? You taking action to go on a karmic cycle. Round and round and round and round. Because if I keep doing the same things and I'm getting the results that I still like, even though it's the same, I'm good with that. No, but when it's time for a change, I don't care how that wheel is spinning. I don't care how many karmic. It could be karmic. You gonna keep getting hurt eventually from it. Again, it affects around you, within you. It's gonna affect. This 7 is let your fears look. A new start is coming. Maybe. What's the new start about? You having faith in your dreams because you're real close to achieving your goals. However, it's a need for you to be bold and make the first move. You know how to be bold, right? But we talking about letting your fears go, not letting the past hold you back. Can you do that? Because the conclusion is getting ready to be in the reach. And guess what we got? Nothing will come of the situation. Why? Leo? Because you're going to keep doing the same thing and get the same result. Because you're comfortable now with that same result. Okay. There's nothing else for me to say here. And that's and I could be talking to a specific Leos out here. But when it's time for me to wrap it up, I'm wrapping it up. Let's get a motivational card, and I'm out. For Leo. Talking to Leos right now that's not trying to hear it. How many times have we caused ourselves pain because we failed to pause and think, how would my best self view and respond to this situation? We must not lose the urgency of this moment as it begs for us to begin something grand and important. Need I say more? Have a good day, Leo. Bye.